The inspiration for the artwork that you just saw was a line of dialogue from a game called Kirby Planet Robobot. The line is being shown to you now, the image. The he that Stardream is talking about is someone known as Galactonite, who was the winged pink character from the piece I just showed. This line created an interesting visual in my head, and I wanted to draw it and share with people, which was the reason I made this work. After formulating the general composition I wanted in my head, I then decided to put it to digital paper in a sense. What is happening in this piece is Galactonite is flying away from a planet that is in the middle of exploding because he cut it in half. The thing that's coming off of him is a sort of speed trail because I wanted to show him flying fast. The hardest part of the sketch was, well, the knight himself. It was difficult to figure out what angle I wanted him to be at, and then to try and put everything into a perspective that worked with it. The hardest part were the wings and the feet, as I just kept looking off until I eventually got it right. As you can see, some design elements had to be changed when going from sketches to outlines. Once again, Galactonite was the hardest part of doing this. The messiness of the sketch did not make this easy at all to make a clear outline. One part of the sketch I wasn't really happy with was the left wing, so I just copied his right wing and then changed it and morphed it to be more in perspective, even though it doesn't look as good as I think it could. The explosion was also changed to try and make it look better after I found some images of some, and I think it does look a lot better than before. One thing I decided to do was give different elements different line width to create a sense of distance. So the smaller the line width, the further back something would do, and I think I did this rather well. Like it usually is for me, the coloring step is one of the more fun parts of making an artwork and one of my more favorites. I decided to have my colors be on a separate layer that is under my line work so that there would be less risk of painting over it, and that I can paint under the lines to have it look more filled in. Galactonite's colors came from a picture that I found, so I just took his colors and then used them as the colors on the piece. The planet's colors aren't based on any planet in particular, it's just the color I had in my mind for it. I decided to make the explosions multiple colors and not just one, because I thought it looked better, and that's what I saw on explosions when I looked at them, because they were just multiple different temperatures of heat. The trail behind Galactonite has a gradient fill that goes from his pink color to a transparent, so it'll look like he's moving fast in a way. I decided to give my piece a space-themed background, because where else would a planet be other than space? The reason it has a dark blue coloring for space and not, say, a black one is because in Kirby games, the space can usually be a darkish blue, and I just thought it looked better next to Galactonite's pink and the black outlines. This wasn't really too hard to make, but the hardest part, I guess, was the two stars in the different corners, because they are a bit different than the other objects in the sky, but I guess they really didn't take too long to make. So, yeah. After I finished creating the background, I then decided to go back over my piece to add finishing touches and then clean up any mistakes that there were. I decided to remove the outlines from the explosions and the trail, because I really didn't want them popping out as hard as I thought they would, and I just thought they would look better without them. I went back over Galactonite, his outline, and erased any weird parts or mistakes. I filled in any empty spots with the coloring, erase any like little bits that didn't get erased beforehand. And just kept doing this until I decided that this piece was finished. And I think it is.